Hello, good afternoon. All right, I would like to give a introduction about the first class. So, so how to get good marks in exams. So this is the aim of these classes. And the first, let's say someone, they are good in theory. And someone is not good in theory part. So if you're good in theory, can you get good marks? No. So if you don't know theory, can you get good marks? No. So then what is the secret? Right. Now, knowing the theory, so we call memorize by heart, and you know everything. Now, this is a very bad misconception in biology because traditionally in our country, biology like subjects is built on this kind of a misconception. So before London syllabus, we had this national syllabus, and usually national syllabus, even today, there are great amount of content in biology. You by heart remember, and in exam, you have to write, and then you get the mark. But this is not biology. So when the London syllabus introduced into our country, then this concept has been changed, but still people believe that biology is something like you can just read it and remember it, and then you can repeat in the exam. That doesn't happen because biology is a logical science and it uses scientific method and reasoning to study of living things. It's a logical science. So when you equally contribute to the physics, chemistry, biology has also some kind of a logical reasoning that you have to understand. So for example, when we analyze the paper, you should get 142 out of 180. That's 110 and 70. That's paper 1 and paper 2 to get the band 9. And 124 for band 8, 107 for band 7. This might be slightly changed. Then when we analyze the questions of the paper, there are 4 types of questions. One is direct theory. This is something you remember the theory and you just write the theory. So this carries only close to 50 marks, more or less 50 marks. Then theory indirect, that means you have to write theory, but you don't know what to write. What is the exact thing to write? Because it's indirect. Then the next one is a theory application. So you have to apply the theory and you don't know what to write, when to write, how to write. So this carries 100 marks. And the last thing, questions are critical thinking, which is 30 marks, around 30 marks. So roughly 50 marks, 100 marks, and 30 marks, which give 180 marks. So now let's see, if you really study and you know theory, but you can't pass your exam, just 50 marks. Now this is the biggest problem, and most of the time parents think there's a problem with the writing. It's not a problem with the writing, it's a problem of application and how to understand and how to select what to write. Because your English is okay, you can write correct English, and you get they don't cut marks. Something you don't know what to write and how to write and where to write. That's a problem. So let's say the critical thinking and application type of questions. Let's assume you are giving this question. So if you give this question, you have to find what is the car's parking spot number. So your approach is, you start, okay, 16, then this is decrease, then this is increase, increase, increase. Then you try to find, is there any difference? Is there patterns? Is there something? So let's assume this you have seen first time. So if you think you have seen this first time, you trying to find out some patterns and how this pattern is repeating at this point. But if you have a practice, what you do, you try to apply different things. For example, you try to change this page upside down like this. If you rotate 180 degree, 86, 88, 89, 90, 91. So then this should be 87. So this is the one that we have to do now next coming 4 months. We have to practice. So your duty is, you just learn the theory, and then my duty is how to apply this theory to get the good marks. And when it comes to theory, you should have a good revision note. If you don't have a good revision note, let me know. I can provide a revision note, a good revision note, and use this revision note to study frequently until you get this information. Okay, now we start with the first question. And this class, I am going to solve only the hardest question. Now, first question I have taken to explain you what is theory direct. So this question, they are checking your direct theory, right? Now, in order to do that, I will show you all the organisms can be divided into two groups. One is called the prokaryotes. Who are prokaryotes? Simply definition is don't have a nucleus. So eukaryotes, they have a nucleus. So then we divide all the organism eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Prokaryotes example bacteria. Eukaryotes 4 groups. One is protoctist, fungi, plant, and animal. Now the question is asking what is common to fungi and animal. Now in that case, you should know animals divide into vertebrates and invertebrates. So animals are prokaryotes, and animals also have a nervous system, and animals, they store carbohydrate as glycogen. So these are the main criteria given about animal. Fungi, they have a cell wall. Cell wall is made out of chitin. Then it's different to plants. Plant is cellulose. And they also eukaryotes. And they also share the glycogen is a storage carbohydrate. That means the glycogen is storage carbohydrate in fungi. Glycogen is storage carbohydrate in fungi. And they have a nucleus. They have a nucleus. So if you want to quickly recall this information, You have to really understand and study, and you should keep in this fact in the brain. Then you can quickly get it. Now, if you know this, then it's easy to answer the questions. So, a megalodon was an animal. Which of these features does megalodon share with fungus? So, animal and fungus, what they share? Nuclei present in cells. So, nuclei is the plural of nucleus. Both have nuclei. Correct. Nervous coordination only in animal, not correct. Store carbohydrate as glycogen, correct. Then 1 and 3 is the answer. Now this is direct theory, right? So this is an example of direct theory. Now I am going to question number 3. Question number 3 is theory indirect and theory application. So that case is not that easy to answer the questions. For example, isotonic drinks are often used in rehydrate athletes after exercise. Explain why athletes lost water during exercise. So if you look at this question, can you guess any exam help from the information given? So this is called information about the question. I think you can't get much because when after the race, they had to drink water. Explain why athletes lost water during exercise. There is a hint. When you see this word explain, they're checking your theory. So now understand, before you're going to find answer for this question, you have to recall, so what is the theory they are checking? This theory you have to write in a good order. For example, if you look at the notes and the theory, we have two things. One is water regulation, and temperature regulation. So this come under the homeostasis. So this come under homeostasis. What is homeostasis? Maintain the constant body conditions. Now you had to learn this too. Now when you learn this too, when there's a question, you really need to get the exact point from this whole information, right? So just briefly look at the textbook. So sweat glands produce greater amount of sweat. This liquid is secreted onto the surface of the skin when a liquid evaporates. And then also say about the water regulation, ADH hormone is important. So you have all the informations. So now you have to filter them. Then you come like this. So start from the scratch. If someone exercise, the most important thing is the energy. You know, this energy is produced by respiration. So when energy is producing, this is chemical reaction or metabolic reaction. So we call chemical reaction or metabolic reaction. Now, when you think about the chemical reactions, some use energy, some release energy. Exergonic and endogonic reactions. Endogonic is energy is taken up. Exergonic is energy is released. This energy is mostly released as a heat, because if you do some chemical reaction, you can feel the test tube is heated up because of the chemical reaction. Same when metabolic reaction happen, heat release to the heat release out, then heat is produced. But the thing is, homeostasis, the body cannot increase temperature more than 37 degrees. Because basic concept of homeostasis is maintain constant condition, constant temperature, 37. So when heat goes up, this trying to goes up, up, up a little bit. So body trying to prevent it by producing sweat. Because sweat cool down by evaporation. So now you see heat produced during the athletes' events, and homeostasis is main concept that they have to maintain the temperature 37, and sweat is produced to cool down and evaporate. That means sweat is evaporate. For example, this is a sweat on the skin, and heat is taken up and then evaporate. The energy lost by evaporation process, and body is getting cooled down. So now you have to write this. So I write like this. When you exercise, your body temperature goes up. This makes you sweat more. Sweating helps you cool down and lose heat. The heat goes away through evaporation. So you can write, for example, when exercise happen, it need energy, aerobic respiration, chemical reaction take place, which make heat. But too much writing is also not good because you have to filter. The marks are given 2. Then avoid writing too much detail. You just write the important detail. That means there is something, whole stories like this. Most important part is this. Then you take this part and you write, not other information, homeostasis, 37 degree, and energy is produced by the respiration, these reproduce metabolic reaction like things are background information. So you have to filter the most important component just to write it. For example, it's just like an abstract, like a summary of the whole thing. You have to filter when you write the answer. That's a model answer. Next one is question isotonic drinks. Usually, you don't learn isotonic word in IGCSE level. If you don't learn something IGCSE level, exam it explain what the meaning of the word. Isotonic drinks contain salt and sugar solution that are same concentration as normal blood. Scientists uses this method to investigate how well isotonic drink rehydrate athletes. I think there is a more knowledge you should get by osmosis, partially permeable membrane, and water potential, water concentration, and one side has a salt solution, and other side has a pure water, how it goes, what happened to the cells. So this I will address in another session, not at this point. Right now, we have to answer this question, explain. Now again, when you see explain, what is the theory I should know? The result shown in the table for the athletes who consume no drink. No drink is this. So when they don't consume drink, volume of urine goes down and very dark and yellow. So simply we can make it a small question. If we don't drink water, our urine volume less and urine get concentrated. Now, how this is happening is a theory part that we have to explain that. So many students, they start to write, when person not drinking water, urine volumes goes down, it's 100, and urine is very dark yellow. But if they drink pure water, it goes up, and isotonic drink, again, urine volume is higher. This doesn't get any marks because you are just describing this result. You're just making a paragraph for the table. That doesn't get marks. So think about explain. When you see explain, I want to write theory. Why this is? When person is not drinking urine, why this is? For example, now our body, let's assume total volume is 50 liters. So if you drink all of a sudden 2 liters, it goes to 52. Then urine 2 liters urine produced and goes up quickly. So that's a constant amount of liquid maintained. So if you don't drink water at 0 liters for many hours, then urine output decrease. So it goes like a, let's say, 0.5 liter, and this goes 49.5 liter. Then this is a concern. The body starts to conserve water. That's called homeostasis. Now for this one, what you have to write the theory. How the come theory? This is hypothalamus. So this is pituitary. Now it's all in the brain. That's our brain. And somewhere here you can find hypothalamus and pituitary. And the hypothalamus is the main sensor of the body. This is pituitary. So hypothalamus has many areas sensing things. One thing is temperature. Other one is water level. So these things we are not learning. So you are learning temperature and water level. And hypothalamus consists of special receptors, nerves. So they can detect changes. Now the blood vessel, which is going through this part, now water level goes down in the blood detected by hypothalamus because these sensors detect water level. And after that, they send signal to the pituitary gland to secrete hormone ADH. So ADH hormone then going into the blood, and then it goes to the kidney. So inside the kidney, we have these nephrons, and nephron is connected to the collecting duct. So this one is a collecting duct. Now the ADH hormone, the response here on collecting duct increase permeability. And then when water comes here, the water reabsorbs and the water is going to the blood. That means here is a blood vessel, and let's say urine is produced here, and they go, most of the volume is now taken into blood because increased permeability, it again go into the blood. By this way, volume reduced, urine volume reduced.